When we left Arjuna and Krishna, they were still on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. The two armies frozen, the world waiting. Krishna had revealed the eternal nature of the soul, the path of action without attachment, the royal secret of devotion. But Arjuna had heard all of this as wisdom, as teaching. He had not yet seen it as reality that is about to change. In the 9 chapters that remain, Krishna will reveal the full nature of divine reality. He will speak about the 3 qualities of nature that bind all beings. He will describe the difference between the divine and the demonic. He will reveal the highest, most secret teaching of the entire Gita. And at the center of it all, he will show Arjuna something that no human eye was built to witness: his true form. This is part 2. Chapter 10. Divine Glories. Krishna now lists, in extraordinary poetic detail, his divine manifestations in the world. He says, among the Adityas, I am Vishnu. Among lights, I am the radiant sun. Among the Marits, I am Marichi. Among the stars, I am the moon. Among the Vedas, I am the Samaveda. Among the gods, I am Indra. Among the senses, I am the mind. In living beings, I am consciousness. Among the Rudras, I am Shiva. Among the Yakshas and Rakshasas, I am Kubera. Among the Vasas, I am fire. Among the mountains, I am Mount Meru. He continues across all of creation: animals, warriors, rivers, seasons, sciences, philosophies. Everything that is most excellent, most powerful, most beautiful in any category is a spark of his divine energy. Arjuna is overwhelmed. He asks what no one before him has dared to ask. Show me this form. Show me the divine reality you are describing. Krishna considers this request and then says yes. Chapter 11. The Vision of the Universal Form. This is the most extraordinary chapter in the Gita. Krishna grants Arjuna divine sight and reveals his true form, the Vishvarupa. What Arjuna sees cannot be described in ordinary language. But Arjuna tries. He sees a form with countless mouths and countless eyes, with countless arms and countless stomachs, with the entire universe contained within it. He sees the sun and moon as its eyes. He sees its mouth as the cosmic fire. Its radiance illuminates the entire universe. He sees all the gods within it, all the great sages, all the armies of both sides, the Kauravas and Pandavas, rushing into its mouths like rivers into the sea. And then Arjuna sees something that fills him with terror. He sees that the great warriors of both armies, Bhishma, Drona, Karna, are already being consumed, already destroyed. The battle has not yet been fought, and yet in the divine vision the outcome is already determined. Krishna speaks from within this form: I am time, the destroyer of all worlds. I have come to consume these warriors. Even without you, they will not survive. Arjuna begs him to stop, to return to his gentle human form, and Krishna does. The gentleness of this, the divine choosing to be small for the sake of the beloved, is the most moving moment in the Gita. Chapter 12. The Yoga of Devotion. After the overwhelming terror of the universal form, this chapter is a breath of warm air. Arjuna asks, who are the better devotees? Those who worship you in personal form, or those who worship the formless, imperishable absolute? Krishna says, those who worship me in personal form with constant devotion, fixing their minds on me, I consider them the most perfectly united in yoga. But then he immediately adds, those who worship the imperishable formless also attain me. Both paths lead home. And then Krishna describes the qualities of the devotee he loves most. Not the most learned, not the most powerful, not the most austere. The one who has no enemies, who is compassionate, who is free from possessiveness, who is equal in joy and sorrow, who is forgiving, who is content, who is disciplined, who is devoted, whose mind and intellect are fixed on God. This is not a description of a saint living in a cave. This is a description of a human being who has learned to live in the world, with all its difficulty and sorrow and beauty, without being destroyed by it. This chapter is the Gita's love letter. Chapter 13. The Field and the Knower of the Field. Krishna introduces one of the Gita's most important philosophical frameworks. He calls the body, and by extension all of material existence, the field. Everything that can be experienced, perceived, touched, thought. That is the field. And he calls the soul, the pure consciousness that witnesses all of this, the knower of the field. The fundamental confusion of human life, Krishna says, is identifying the knower with the field, believing that you are your body, believing that you are your thoughts, believing that you are your emotions. You are not. You are the one who watches the body, thinks the thoughts, experiences the emotions. The field changes constantly. The knower never changes. He then lists the qualities that constitute true knowledge. Not intellectual knowledge, but the wisdom that liberates. Humility, nonviolence, forgiveness, simplicity, service to the teacher, inner cleanliness, steadiness, self-control. And the supreme knowledge, seeing the one imperishable consciousness in all the diverse perishable forms of existence. To see God in everything, that is not poetry, it is the highest form of perception available to a human being. Chapter 14. The three qualities of nature. Everything in material existence, every personality, every food, every action, every thought is made of a combination of three qualities. The gunas, tamas, the quality of inertia, darkness, heaviness, ignorance. It binds through laziness, sleep, confusion. Rajas, the quality of passion, activity, restlessness, desire. It binds through attachment to results, through the exhausting hunger for more. Sattva, the quality of clarity, purity, knowledge, light. Even this quality binds through attachment to happiness and to knowledge itself. All three gunas bind the soul to the body. Even the most sattvic human being, attached to their sattvic nature, has not yet reached liberation. True freedom, moksha, is the state beyond all three gunas. The state where you observe tamas, rajas, and sattva operating in the world and in your own nature, without being controlled by any of them. You see anger arising and you are not angry. You see desire arising and you are not enslaved. You see clarity arising and you are not proud. The guna atita, the one who has transcended the three qualities, moves through the world with the equanimity of a mountain. Everything passes over it. Nothing penetrates it. Chapter 15. The Supreme Person. Krishna uses one of the most beautiful and strange images in all of the Gita. He describes the material world as an ancient banyan tree, the Ashbata, with its roots above and its branches below. Its leaves are the Vedic hymns. Its branches spread downward through the three gunas. Its roots reach upward, into the divine. This is the world as it actually is, rooted in the invisible, branching into the visible. Most human beings live in the branches and have forgotten the roots. To cut down this tree with the axe of non-attachment, and then seek the primal state from which all this growth arose, that is liberation. He then describes three kinds of persons: the perishable, all created beings who are born and die; the imperishable, the unchanging soul; and the supreme person, the Purushottama, who is beyond both, who pervades and sustains all the worlds. I am that supreme person, he says, known in the Vedas and in the world. The one who knows me truly, freed from all delusion, has accomplished everything that is to be accomplished. Chapter 16. The Divine and Demonic Qualities. This chapter is the Gita's moral taxonomy, a complete list of what builds the soul and what destroys it. The divine qualities: fearlessness, purity of heart, perseverance in the yoga of knowledge, charity, self-control, sacrifice, scripture study, austerity, honesty, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, freedom from malice, compassion, freedom from greed, gentleness, modesty, and absence of fickleness. The demonic qualities: ostentation, arrogance, excessive pride, anger, harshness, ignorance. The divine qualities, Krishna says, lead to liberation. The demonic qualities lead to bondage. But here is what makes this chapter remarkable. He is not describing two different types of people. He is describing two tendencies that exist within every human being. Every moment, in every choice. The divine nature and the demonic nature compete within us. The Gita does not moralize, it diagnoses. It gives you a map of your own interior and asks you to look at it honestly, without self-congratulation or self-condemnation. Which nature are you feeding right now? That is the only question. Chapter 17. The Three Kinds of Faith. Having described the three gunas in chapter 14, Krishna now applies them to the practices of daily life. Every human being has faith, shraddha, in something. That faith is shaped by their nature, and their nature is shaped by the gunas. Sattvic faith worships the divine with purity and sincerity without desire for reward. Rajasic faith worships with pomp and display, seeking recognition, attached to results. Tamasic faith worships without proper attention, without knowledge, without care. He applies this framework to food. Sattvic food promotes life, health, joy, and love. Rajasic food is bitter, sour, salty, hot, arid. Tamasic food is stale, impure, rotten. He applies it to charity. Sattvic charity given without expectation to one who will not return the gift. Rajasic charity given expecting something in return. Tamasic charity given with contempt at the wrong place and time. He applies it to austerity of the body, of speech, of the mind. Every act of life, eating, giving, worshiping, speaking, can be performed in 3 different qualities of consciousness. The teaching of the Gita is not what you do, it is how and from what inner state you do it. Chapter 18, Liberation through Renunciation. The final chapter, the longest chapter, the conclusion of everything. Krishna summarizes every path he has taught: Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, the 3 gunas, the field and the knower, the divine and demonic natures. He tells Arjuna, it is better to do your own duty imperfectly than another's perfectly. He describes the qualities of one whose wisdom is firm, one who does not rejoice when obtaining good, does not despair when obtaining evil, whose wisdom is steady, unconfused, and free. And then, in the final verses of the Gita, Krishna speaks the verse that every student of this text carries with them forever. Abandon all varieties of dharma. Simply surrender unto me alone. I will liberate you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. This is the final secret. Beyond all the paths, beyond action, knowledge, meditation, and devotion, there is simple total surrender, not the surrender of the defeated. The surrender of the one who has understood, deeply, completely, without reservation, that the divine is more capable of running this universe than the ego is. Arjuna hears this, and then he speaks the words that close the Gita. My delusion is destroyed. I have regained my memory through your grace. I am firm. My doubts are gone. I will act according to your word. He picks up his bow. The armies begin to move, and the Gita, which began with a warrior refusing to fight, ends with the same warrior ready to do what must be done. Not from hatred, not from ambition, not from ego, from understanding. That is the teaching of the Bhagavad Gita, 700 verses. One truth: you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not the doer. Act anyway, act well, and let the rest go.